But I want to point out something that is kind of like this devil's advocate that people keep saying to me, but doesn't make any sense to me, Jen. They say, well, Jordan, would you rather her not give them the money and they then lose the district to a Republican? And the answer is, yeah, I would, because we didn't elect AOC and these the progressive Democrats to just help us avoid the Republicans, to just help us get marginally better, to just help us stay rotted in this perpetual lesser of two evils. That's what that mindset is. When I see people responding, because I tweeted about this over the weekend, and when I see people responding, well, Jordan, would you prefer her not to help them and then a Republican get the district? You know, of course I don't want a Republican to get the district, but if it's just going to stay Connor Lamb and we're still not going to have $15 minimum wage and we're still not going to have Medicare for all and we're still not going to have a Green New Deal, then yeah, it's a difference. What do they say? It's a distinction without a difference or something like that. Like, okay, yeah, Connor Lamb might be a little less racist than the Republican will replace him, but I didn't. I'm a journalist, but like I'm assuming our viewers and activists I know and have interviewed did not knock on doors for AOC and these other progressives to make sure that a marginally better person in a swing district will stay in office. And I also think with that mindset, we're continuing to operate on the neoliberal playing field. That's the neoliberal playing field. That's the manufacturing consent playing field in terms of, well, we got to keep that Dem majority. It's better than the Republicans. No. We got to break out of that. And that's what those people like AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, yes, the Justice Democrats, that's what they sold themselves as. That's what they marketed themselves as we're taking it to the Democratic Party. Well,
I have a lot of things to say about Justice Dem. Never mind.
where is the fight? I'm not expecting miracles. I'm not expecting miracle work. Frankly, if they would have done forced the vote, which I was a proponent of, it frankly would not have gotten Medicare for all. But I don't think all the people that are disappointed right now, I don't think their disappointment is that I don't think their disappointment is based in that they're just not getting the results yet. Nobody, I don't think you, Jen, nobody expects AOC and the progressives to be miracle workers. We did not become the United Corporations of America overnight. We did not become the United Corporations of America overnight. And we're not going to completely sanitize this rotten system overnight. It's going to take years. It might take decades. But you don't do that unless you, frankly, go to war guerrilla style. And this is the point that really makes me angry, Jen, is you have the people behind you. You have the people behind you, but they're squandering the arm. They're doing what Obama did. I mean, Obama was a fraud. He fooled me. He fooled Jewel. He fooled half the country. But Obama had a huge army of volunteers when he got in the White House, and he left them on the White House lawn and instead, gave sexual favors to Goldman Sachs and Wall Street and the rest of them. Excuse my French. So this is the wrong strategy. I see the comments saying, Jordan, you're naive. It's because they're bought off. I wish it was that simple. I honestly don't think it's because they're bought off. I think they're politically naive. And when I hear AOC, and Jen, you mentioned this, when I keep hearing, I think she gave an interview to the Democratic Socialist magazine or something like that.
Yeah.
When I heard her continue to say,
to the
Democratic Socialist of America.
Of America. Yeah.
I don't know what the publication was, but it was a DSA based thing. When I keep hearing her say, we just need to organize more. Well, we have organized, and we got a number of progressives in Congress right now that have the ability to set the agenda or block the agenda. So, yeah, I understand it doesn't stop with them. We got to organize for a whole lot of other things in this country. But how much more organizing do you have to do? You have the numbers right now. Let me just tell you, Jen, I mean, it's not like I'm brilliant on UK politics, but this is kind of common practice in other countries that if one party has a slim majority, which the Democratic Party right now has a 1-seat majority, which is the vice president breaking the tie, then a minority within that majority is basically as powerful as the prime minister, the president. So right now, the progressives are as powerful, more powerful, frankly, than Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. Frankly, if you look at it a certain way, they're more powerful than Joe Biden. But because they right now could shut down everything that Biden wants to do. Of course, the media would be brutal. Let's not pretend the media would paint them as pariahs. We know that. But from a tactical point, they could shut it all down, but they're choosing not to. And I want to show a clip, Jen. Mehdi Hassan, who I guess has been filling in on MSNBC. I'm surprised to let him. But he kind of tepidly, but kind of sort of challenged Bernie on this point. Like, why aren't you playing the hardball that Joe Manchin is? Let's take a look at what Bernie had to say, which, frankly, wasn't much of anything. Let's take a look.
In the grassroots movement, a lot of frustrated progressives, especially online, and you know this, often ask, why can't you, Bernie Sanders, use the leverage that Joe Manchin often uses to get his own way on issues like the $15 minimum wage or expanding healthcare? Why can't you throw your weight around, they say, threaten to vote against things like Joe Manchin so successfully does?
First of all, if you look at the results of what happened, look, I'm not the president. But I think what most people would tell you is what we did in the rescue plan was the most significant piece of legislation for working class people in the modern history of this country. And we're moving forward in a similar direction. We can't get everything we want. That's simply the reality. Any one person can say no. But right now, I think we are moving forward. We're going to push it as hard as we possibly can. And I'm proud of the direction in which we are moving.
I hate to cut off the OG, but I got to stop it right there. We'll play the rest of the clip. But first of all, I'm just being honest, Jen. And I do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I know there's a lot of people who literally have unsubscribed because I won't call Bernie a sellout and I won't call him a fraud. I'm just not going to go for clicks. Okay. I respect what Bernie has done. Frankly, there was no progressive movement in America before Bernie. So I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But what I do believe is we could criticize him in real time. And I don't know if, I don't want to get into sources, but I know people in Bernie's world who are equally as dismayed, shall I say? Because what the hell are you talking about, Bernie? This was the most significant piece of legislation, like in the 21st century. It's a temporary Band-Aid, this $1.9 trillion stimulus.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's all temporary. There are some good things in it. But okay, so we're going to cut poverty in half for 6 months until all of these provisions are gone. That's what this is. All of it's temporary. And by the way, Biden, for his infrastructure plan, Jen, just preemptively, without even being forced to, said, yeah, we don't think we're going to be able to make those child tax credits permanent. It's the same thing he did with the Senate parliamentarian and the $15 minimum wage. Preemptively, he's not being challenged, basically wave the red flag without even being challenged. It's because his donors won't let him. And Bernie, maybe he's tired. He's been running around the country like a madman at an old age. And that's fine. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. But you're wrong if you think that what just passed is anything more than a glorified Band-Aid for an gaping economic gunshot wound. And the gaping economic gunshot wound came long before COVID. And the other thing, Jen, he says, I'm not the president, but you have the power to stop the president. That's the whole point. That's what Mehdi was getting at. You have, as one senator, the criticism before, Bernie didn't have the numbers where Bernie literally could shut down anything. But you have, just like Joe Manchin is doing right now, I'm going to show you in a little bit. He's saying, nuh-uh, we're not raising the corporate tax rate to 28%. Bernie has that power. So yeah, you might not be the president, but your single vote with these progressives in the House has the power to set the agenda. You might not get everything you want, but if the progressives and Bernie said, yeah, we're not voting for your infrastructure plan unless $15 minimum wage is in there, Medicare for all gets a floor vote, and a couple other things, maybe you won't get all of it. Maybe you'll get one or two of it by playing hardball. But that's the point. He kind of dodged that question. And in not just dodging it, he gave what I think was just a wrong answer, that what we already got was somehow, he's making it seem like this is the New Deal, Jen.
Yeah, I have to say that's I really don't know what to make of that. Like, that is so clearly not the case. You know, what Bernie said is so clearly not the case that I am baffled. I don't know why he would say that. I don't know if he truly thinks that. I don't know if he feels like he has to say that in order to get something else. Like, is he playing some kind of long game? Am I being naive? Is something else going on?
Well, Jen, you're a fraud. You're a fraud for nothing. You're a fraud for calling him a fraud, and I won't allow it.
That must be it. Yeah, I don't know. That's not good, Bernie.
And the thing that really puzzles me, and I get it, like, people just want this to be very simple. They just want to call them frauds, sellouts, and go scorched earth. But the thing is, to me, I think actions speak louder than words. And I truly believe that a lot of these people, it's not that they're bought off. A lot of them get into Washington and actually kind of get brainwashed a little bit. I'm talking about AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ro Khanna, Pramila Jayapal. They kind of get brainwashed into thinking, no, you got to play this inside game to get anything. You got to work your colleagues a little bit. You got to show them the temperature outside. You got to show them and convince them that, no, you don't have to take the corporate money. If you go with the policies that are popular, you'll get a lot of small dollar donations. And they actually truly believe, wrongly, that you can get these people to come onto your side and do the right thing. But the problem is, you're not dealing with people that are operating in good faith. You're dealing with people who have shown by their actions. I'm talking about Connor Lamb, Alyssa Slotkin, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. You're dealing with people that don't think it's corrupt to take money from banks and fossil fuel companies and big pharma and big real estate and Silicon Valley and defense contractors. They don't think that's corrupt. They just think that's the price of doing business in DC. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com, where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.